There are over 40 million vehicles on the roads in Germany alone. More than 3 million new vehicles were registered last year. To cover this huge demand, modern vehicle manufacturers must produce large numbers each day. And to achieve that, they have to automate many of the processes. For example, 2,400 cars leave the Audi factory in Ingolstadt every day on average. So it will come as a surprise to hear this.
We build 24 cars a day.
And see that in a modern car manufacturing facility. Workbenches. The Audi factory in Neckarsulm produces the super sports car Audi R8, amongst others. Unlike large-scale production with its automated processes and sophisticated robots, Audi R8 production is manufacture in the true sense of the word. It is built largely by hand.
We have a very high degree of manual production. That's to say, in the body shop, we're talking about 25% automation, while assembly is carried out 100% by hand.
Hard to imagine, but this is the preliminary stage of an Audi R8. Light alloy chassis members. Individual members are assembled on the benches, until finally they become the basic chassis of the super sports car. But the human factor, which some people like to see as a potential source of errors, is part of the solution here. Precision is taken very seriously when building the Audi R8.
In spite of the high degree of manual production, we have very tight quality control loops. Our people are very highly qualified. Right from the start, we used a core troop of very qualified people. They worked on the A2, some of them on the A8 and the A6. So they have lots of specialist knowledge and are also very skilled, for example in welding aluminium. We put them to work on the prototypes. That's to say, they got to know the car and its body from the beginning.
The manual skills come in useful for quality control in the body shop. People with a sensitive touch can detect any unevenness in a car body and correct it as necessary.
In areas where it matters, our tolerances are down to 1/5 of a millimeter.
To supplement that, each body is measured by a laser scanner at over 200 neuralgic points to ensure perfect dimensions. They've achieved a lot with the R8, but the people here are still not satisfied.
We do much more than is expected of a welder. Instead of a refresher test every 2 years, we put each worker through the qualification process every 6 months.
After the quality checks, the body is painted and then goes to the assembly shop. At last it's starting to look like a car, even if it's still rather incomplete. In assembly, they build in the engine and gearbox, the interior panels and the various fittings. Everything that belongs to an Audi R8. The assembly process is divided into 14 stages of 35 minutes. That's also unusual in the business.
The main difference here, with small production numbers, is the much longer cycle times compared to mass production. For comparison, we have 35 minutes, whereas it's only about 90 seconds on the A6 production line. During those 35 minutes, a worker inserts up to 50 or 60 different parts, not counting the tools he has to use for each operation.
Also bei uns ist die Komplexität sehr, sehr groß durch die Unmenge an Arbeitsumfänge, die sich ergeben.
We have a high complexity because of the large amount of work. You can just imagine the difference remembering all steps for a 2 minutes or a 35-minute circle. Everything has to be perfect.
Stimmt.
And this is what it looks like when it leaves the assembly shop. But the Audi R8 is not yet ready for the showroom. The brand new Audi R8 still has to be subjected to extensive quality controls. They check the evenness of the paint finish and all the gaps, defined to the nearest 1/10 of a millimeter, and numerous other details besides.
We subject every one of our cars to a road test. inside and outside the factory grounds. The main emphasis is on any disturbing noises that may occur. And then, after the road test, we work through them and deal with them.
Well, they do say that unusual circumstances require unusual solutions. The Audi R8, a car that's still built by hand in an age of automation.